Hey guys, how'd you do the other day with talking about your future planning? Did you talk to someone about what some of your goals are and think about some steps that you can take today to lead to those? Um, Today I'm going to talk about um some of you might recognize this from especially my secondary kids. Um, how are you doing? Now, when you come into my office, I often have a graph that looks like this. And I ask you in terms of a couple areas in your life, how things are going. And I have you rate on my smiley face chart, or even our 1 to 5 scale, how things are going in these areas. And we usually talk about home, friends and other kids, school, and whatever your goal is that you're working on. Maybe that is managing your anger or managing your anxiety or something, making new friends, making more friends, something like that. Um, and I have you mark kind of how things are going. Now that's important because sometimes when we have one problem in one area of our life, we think our whole life is terrible. But it's really not that way. If maybe I'm not having very good luck right now making friends with other kids, then I might mark things down there. But if I think about my schoolwork, I'm actually doing really well. I would mark it up here. And things are actually going really well at home. And I'm working on managing my anger, and that's and I haven't gotten an office referral for a long time. So it kind of helps you see that even though things aren't going good in that area of friends and other kids, things are going good in other areas of of your life. Now we're all like this, and we all need to kind of think of our lives sometimes in terms of this, because sometimes, like I said, when we have a problem, our brain wants to focus on that and think everything's just terrible in our lives. But it's really not. And if the more we can kind of accurately assess our lives and think, really, how am I doing? How are things going with home, with friends and other kids, with school, with whatever goal I'm working on? Then it kind of helps us see things a little bit more accurately and make and feel a little better. Um, and it kind of goes back to our thoughts and thinking, okay, not everything in my life is terrible right now. I do have this problem, but most things in my life are going pretty good. So this fancy thing is actually called positive psychology, and it's where we're, instead of dwelling and looking at our problems, we're looking at our successes too. So I encourage you to, wherever you're at home, kind of, even though you would do this with me in my office, you can make this yourself, and you can start kind of talking to your parent or whoever you live with about this, how things are going for you, and where the problems are, and trying to be a little bit more realistic and see your successes and be proud of yourself, and maybe think about like schoolwork. Maybe math is going really well, but science is not going well at all. That's okay. We have things that are great for us, and we have things that are not so great. And the more we can accurately see it, the more we can kind of hone in on the things that are the problem, and find ways to make that better. So I encourage you to make your own graph, use it at your house, talk to someone you live with about it, and start kind of accurately assessing, how am I doing? How am I doing in my life in these areas? And all of you remember, it's important to have a goal that you're working towards, whether that's managing some sort of emotion or something, but have some goal and start thinking about how am I doing and measuring that. Okay, thanks guys. Have a great day. Bye.